Hey, it's Matt from Tradesman Digital Marketing. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up call-only ads inside Google Ads. Now, call-only ads are absolutely fantastic for generating your company a whole bunch of phone calls. They're very, very simple to set up. Probably the simplest ads to do correctly, but they do take a little bit of planning. They do need consistent optimization. If you're not willing to do that, I recommend staying away from that. But if you are willing to take a little bit of time to look into the keyword research and stuff like that, they can be very successful. They can generate you a lot of phone calls and they're very easy to use provided you stay up to date with them. Now, how do we go about setting up call only ads? Well, first thing is I generally recommend setting up call only ads in their own campaign. Right now, for the sake of time and simplicity, I'm going to set this up in a campaign we already have. But what I like to do is segment it out everything. I'd recommend having a call only campaign and then a actual, your normal search campaign, maybe it's pool installation, whatever it is. I'd keep them separate. But for the sake of time and simplicity, we're just going to add these actual ads to our search campaign. Now, how do we actually add our search ads? The first thing we do is we're going to click on our campaign. So this could be completely blank and this could be a brand new campaign, which I recommend. Or this could be an existing campaign. And what we're going to do is we're going to build out an ad group. So I'm going to build out a new ad group. I'm going to name it call only ads. Call only ads. And we'll do this one for, let's say, fiberglass pools. And what we're going to do is we're going to find a whole bunch of related keywords to fiberglass pools. So I'm going to type in here fiberglass pools, and we're going to hit get keywords. Actually, you know what? Let's pull, we'll just leave this fiberglass pool. That's fine. We'll hit get keywords, and Google's going to generate a list of keywords that are relevant to us. You know what? Let's make this fiberglass pool installation. So it's more relevant to our actual service we offer. We're going to hit yes, and this is going to be a list of, and this is going to be an entire list of keywords relevant to us. So anything related to, there's a few things I want to mention when it comes to actually selecting keywords, and it's unique for every account. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, but these are general principles we like to follow. The first thing is anything related to the cost we get rid of right away. This is generally due to the fact that the consumer looking for cost or low quote or cheap or discount, these are people who want the absolute lowest price. And if you can't give them that, they're not interested. So most of our customers we work with, they're not the lowest price. They offer high-end services or, maybe mid-tier, whatever it is. They can't compete with the absolute lowest cost. And we recommend just staying away from that because these people are generally hard to win over and you're just going to waste a lot of money targeting them. So I recommend staying away from that. Costs, prices, again, price here again. I'm going to just remove, price, but I'll keep fiberglass swimming pools. Cost we can get rid of, fiberglass pool cost. We can get rid of cost, fiberglass pool near me, that's good. Cost remove. Companies near me, that's fine. Prices, we'll get rid of. Contractors, good. I also don't love when the keywords resemble like 10 by 20 or 8 by 16 or whatever the actual pool dimension is. This is generally contractors looking to buy the actual shell of a fiberglass pool, and we see very low conversions rates with it. So we tend to stay away from that. And again, this is unique to every single industry. I'm doing the example of a pool installation company for this, but take it with a grain of salt and look at the data. Generally, the data will make or break this. So look at the data, see what it says. If it says it's a bad keyword, get rid of it. If it says it's a good keyword and you're getting good leads, keep it. Fiberglass pool cost, we'll get rid of. Average cost, we'll get rid of. You know what we'll get rid of cost here, but we'll keep fiberglass pool installation. I like that. Fiberglass cost estimator, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of, shell pricing, we'll get rid of that. Pool builders, we'll keep. Installers near me, that's fine. That's fine. Plunge pool cost, we'll get rid of. Swimming pool cost. Do we already have fiberglass? We'll keep this. They're spelled two different ways, and sometimes people actually make the accident of spelling fiberglass and certain words different ways. But if it's an exact match, which I'm going to recommend doing in a second, I would add even a couple spelling errors ones just to actually keep it relevant and make sure, even though it might have like the little spelling error you can still target those people because they still might be a good lead. Above ground pool, we're just going to be doing in-ground pools, and it's very important to actually know your product and service down to a very minute detail. That way you only target the keywords that are really relevant to you. So I'd get rid of that. Now, the actual match type is the next thing we're going to manage. So what match type should we be using? For service-based businesses, I recommend now exclusively to use exact match, sometimes with a little phrase match in it just to expand and figure out new keywords. But for the vast majority, I would say use exact match. And this is due to the fact that Google's new transition into getting rid of broad match modified has really made phrase match, something we used to use a lot, very lenient, and it will target a lot of keywords. And if you're using call only ads, keywords will make or break your campaign. I can't say this enough. If you do not use the proper keywords, or you use broad match, or you use a lot of phrase match, you will burn through money like crazy and you will not get calls. And I've seen this happen time and time again. So please, please, please use exact match. Maybe add in a little phrase match if you're having trouble finding keywords, but stick mainly to exact match. And again, this is for service-based businesses. This isn't for e-commerce, so those two things are very different. But if you sell a service, generally go with exact match. This is going to be your best bet. Now, how do we put this into exact match? Meaning we're only going to pop up for these specific keywords. We're going to put brackets around each of these keywords. And what that means is we're actually have to going to manually put brackets around each and every keyword. Now, this is a real pain in the butt, and I don't like doing it. So what I would do is I would copy all this, and I would go to a tool called AdWords Wrapper. And I love AdWords Wrapper, and I'll leave it up in the description above. And essentially all it does is it takes the keywords you have, so you can copy and paste them, and you're going to put them into a little chart here. You're going to hit wrap keywords, and it's going to generate a list of already pre-wrapped keywords. You're just going to hit copy, and we can just paste them back in here, and now they're all an exact match, and you don't have to manually put brackets around every single one, which is really, really nice. If you want to build out a more extensive keyword list, you absolutely can. It really depends on how much search volume in the area you're targeting is. If there's not enough search volume, you really have to build it out, the actual keyword list. If there's a lot, maybe you can reduce it. I recommend building out multiple ad groups with very relevant ad copy. This way you keep your ad relevance up, you keep your ad rank up, and everything goes well. I would say this is a little lenient on what we would normally do. I would like to build out multiple ad groups surrounding all these keywords, but just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. But this is very, very a good start. I would recommend building, maybe you could put fiberglass pool builders in its own ad group, pool companies in its own ad group, construction in its own ad group, and then just build out ad groups with very, very relevant ad copy. So every time an ad pops up, it says, you know, fiberglass pool construction or fiberglass pool companies, all very, very relevant to the actual keyword, meaning you're going to have a higher click-through rate, and Google's going to like you and give you a little bit of a boost and make sure you don't have to spend as much. But this is a very good start, and it's all an exact match, so we can test essentially everything very quickly, and we'll know what is working and what isn't working. And this is generally what I recommend for most people in service-based businesses to be using. So we're going to hit save and continue. And now we're going to actually create the ads. And what I would do is I just skip this part because this is a responsive search ad. This is not actually what we're going to be doing. I already have a pre-built ad here. I'm just going to hit save and continue, but this is not the type of ad we're going to be using. I'm going to actually pause this in a second, and then I'll show you what the actual call only ad looks like. So now that we've actually built our call only ad in Fiberglass Pools, as you can see here, we're going to click on it, and we're going to go to the actual, where's our ad? Our ad up here. So this is a responsive search ad. We're going to pause this because this is not the type of ad we want to be using. So now that we've paused our ad, we're going to hit the plus button, and we're going to come over here to call ad. And this is essentially a call only ad. And we're going to hit plus, and we're going to add our phone number. So we are going to enter in the phone number for this pool business. And I believe it's in Canada, so we're going to hit Canada next to it. If you don't associate with the right phone number, it will not show up. So that's going to be an issue for you. So make sure it's in the right country and you add in the proper phone number you want your phone call leads to go to. If you have a tracking number, you can put it in here as well. But make sure your tracking number is on the website that is associated with this ad. If it's not, your ad will not get approved and you'll have issues. So that's what I would recommend. The next thing is a final URL. Now, we generally recommend using a final URL, and you can just link it to your website. It helps with actual ad rank and boosting your ad score, but it's not it's not necessary. So it is up to you. I'm going to paste the actual company in here. I prefer doing this. The verification URL is the same one. It's essentially just making sure it's the correct one. The display path, now what we're going to put here is the keywords associated with this ad group. So if we have a fiberglass pool installation ad group here, which it is, we're going to put fiberglass pool installation or whatever product you're selling is. Fiberglass pool installation. And we just want to make it as relevant to the actual keyword that we're targeting as possible. And a lot of people won't take the time to do this, but it's a nice little thing to make it more relevant to your customer. And the more relevant we can make it to our customer, they're more likely there to click on our ad. So we're going to continue moving on. Now, when it comes to headlines, this is super important because you're very limited compared to normal search campaigns, and you really have to watch your ads and make sure they have a high click-through rate to make sure you're going to get, leads and your account is going to be successful. So I would recommend putting something very closely related to the actual search keyword. So fiberglass pool installation could definitely be one, and trying to use every single space available. So if there's the ability to use 30 letters, use 30 letters. Don't leave it like 10 out of 30. Use all of them. Fiberglass pool installation. I would probably put a call to action next. So we've identified the problem. Fiberglass pool installation. Call now for a free quote, which is a very nice call to action. It uses most of the actual space here available. And we want to make our ad as big as possible because the bigger it is, the more likely it is to be seen, the more likely it is to be clicked on. Now we're going to put our name of our company, Title Pools, in here. This is just a company I found online. We can put in our description. I already have a few descriptions filled out in these ad groups. I'm just going to copy and paste them. Professional in-ground pool installation. I could probably put fiberglass pool in here. Oh, no, call now for a free quote. And in this, I just really want to go more into detail. So I would probably put professional. Let's put fiberglass pool installation as it's more relevant. Fiberglass pool installation. We could probably get rid of the period there. Over 20 years experience. Call now for a free quote. That's fine. We can just get call for a free quote. There we go. And essentially with the description, all you want to do is go into more detail about what you have to offer. I know there's not a lot of room here, but try and do your best and get the point across of what you offer. So professional fiberglass pool installation is what we offer. You really want to answer the customer's problem. So if they're looking for pool installation, give them reasons on how you're going to solve their problem. So professional pool installation, fiberglass pool installation, over 20 years of experience. Call now for a free quote. And I like to put multiple calls to action, even in the description. Get a free assessment now could also be another one. Schedule for a free quote. You could add in, we could have your pool built within, 2 to 4 weeks. Just more reasons on why they should pick you. Don't boast about how great your company is. If you do that, chances are you're going to lose the customer. You could also put in award winning if that's a big thing. You could put in numerous satisfied customers. So maybe you have like 1,000 good reviews. You could put in that. This one essentially targets that. I would put in this for the pool installation one as well. Award-winning pools, certified installers. That means like, we have a warranty, we have certified installers, we have, a very trusted company in the marketplace. So this is a very good representation of what your description should look like. Just give them more reasons on why they should pick you. And now we're going to put in the actual call reporting. I would just put this as calls from ad. And if you don't have one, you can just go to the manage conversions, set up a calls from ad conversion setting, and it's simple. It's not very difficult at all. And then we're just going to hit save new ad. And now we have successfully created our call only ad. And this is generally what I recommend doing as an overall game plan for this. I would recommend building out multiple ad groups with multiple ads inside each one. So maybe we do pool installation. We could do a general pool installation call only ads. So it'd be call only ads, pool installation, and then call only ads fiberglass pools, and then call only ads vinyl pools, and then each one have keywords associated with that. So in the fiberglass pools one, we have, fiberglass pool installation, in-ground fiberglass pools, stuff like that. Same with the general pool installation, same with the vinyl pool installation. And you want to add a lot for this because sometimes there's not enough search volume and you really want to build out the account. And sometimes there is enough search volume and you don't really need to build it out that extensively. So that's what I would do. But I would build out 3 ads on top of this, 3 more call ads, and then I would wait probably a week. I would look at the results and see which keywords are performing well and which ones aren't. You don't want to go overboard with the actual keywords right off the bat. I would recommend probably keeping, if you're going to build out 3 ad groups, I would say keep it probably at 10 to 20 keywords in exact match keywords in each ad group, and then you can see which keywords are performing after a week, depending on your budget, of course, and then go from there. Once each keyword has about 10 clicks, if it doesn't have a conversion in it, I would suggest pausing it, because if you can't get at least a 20% conversion rate with an exact match keyword, it's not really worth targeting, especially if you don't have a landing page that you can optimize and the very limited amount of copy that is in your actual ad. So you really have to aim for those super high converting keywords, and most of them will be found in what's called the 80-20 principle. So you'll have a very small amount of keywords. 20% of your keywords will produce 80% of your results, and those were the keywords that you should be targeting. So once it has about 10 clicks, make a decision from there. If it has at least 2 conversions, then you're good to go, and I would keep it. But that's essentially how to set up call only ads inside Google Ads. They're very, very simple. You don't need a website for this. They can I do generally recommend having a website though, as it helps. But these are very, very good inside Google Ads when it comes to generating phone call leads for your business. Again, you really have to look at your keywords. You have to make sure you're constantly going over it and making sure you're optimizing them on a weekly basis, just to ensure that you're not wasting a whole bunch of money on some random keywords. Please, please don't use broad match and very limited amount of phrase match if you are going to use phrase match. Stick to exact match. But that's how to set up call only ads inside Google Ads. If you have any questions about call only ads, leave them down in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer them. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.